Welcome.
This is the Process Innovation Challenge. Woo! Thanks for being here. My name is Alex Burnett.
Dave Ruan.
You know, I may have lost track of exactly how many of these we've had, but Dave here, my friend, is very keen to keep us focused on the map. So, so much so, I'm convinced that when he goes to bed at night, he's not counting sheep, he's counting picks at this point, so.
That's a bit bleeding droll, Alex.
I didn't even get a single laugh. Usually you draw more than that, but.
Look, I thought we agreed we were going to be on our best behavior today.
We always have some sort of funny segment to lighten the mood,
Nope, ne'er a chance of it, Alex. We want a sure thing of a show for the innovators and the audience. We're playing it straight. No gimmicks, no dodgy tangents, no puns.
So I guess this explains why you're speaking with a accented Dublin accent?
What do you bleeding mean?
So it's great, everyone, to be back in Dublin. This is our first pick in Dublin, and we're thrilled to be back.
It's bleeding rapid, so it has been here.
What does that mean again?
Alex, seriously, you need a lesson in Dublinese. Did anyone hear Annette earlier? Yeah? What did you learn from Annette? Anyone? It's grand. It's grand. All right, well, I'm going to teach you the kind of harder core pieces. Oh, we missed slides. Bleeding rapid, what does it mean?
Whitewater on a river, or what are you talking about?
Bleeding rapid, anyone? Porrick?
Very fast. No, brilliant.
Brilliant. Bleeding rapid.
Brilliant.
Okay, good. That's bleeding rapid. What does this mean?
Yeah, right means correct. It's correct.
I don't believe you. It's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, right. Okay.
Somehow I'm feeling like I'm being set up here, but okay.
And this one? This will be what we see tomorrow morning at the first session, and we'll be saying to people, look at the stadia.
Well, this one I can at least get on board with because, I've been getting into the Dublin swing of things. I just had the best pint of Guinness at the Brazen Head.
Oh, sorry, hold on. You can't say that in Dublin.
Why? I can't say I had the best pint at the Brazen Head?
No, you can't say that in Dublin. The best pint of Guinness is in Hartigan's Leeson Street.
Mulligan's.
What do you mean, O'Donoghue's? Brogan's. No. Ryan's. McKenna's Dunleary. Stop. Where? Oh, that's a good one.
Seems to me like we have at least 16 best pints in Dublin then.
Exactly. Who said Kehoe's? Kehoe's. It's Kehoe's. Thanks, Dave. God, well, they know their pubs.
They do now.
So if you're wondering of any of those and you say, oh, I want to have a good pint of Guinness, find us and we'll point you to who said all those. They're out there. Great. Well, that's us done. Oh, I've got a little bit of Dublinese for you as well. Oh, go back.
Little old lady who?
Faster. Everybody.
Little old lady who?
Faster.
Little old lady who?
Ulrich, you owe me 20 euros. I bet him that I'd get everyone to yodel at LocWorld. Right, enough of that crack. Why are we here, Alex?
We're here for the Process Innovation Challenge, and so I think we're on the wrong slide. I just want to briefly welcome our whole team here. So we're thrilled here to be joined by our 3 fire-breathing dragons over here, Veronique, Porrick, and Gaetan. Welcome. Thanks for being here. All 3 are first-time dragons and ready to breathe fire to our innovators. I also want to take a moment to thank the PIC Advisory Board, Donna Parrish, Jeff Kaiser, Alessandra Benazzi, and Dave and myself. We've been working hard to continue to improve the production, even if our humor hasn't gotten any better, or our attempts at it, I guess. We'd also like to thank Multilingual Magazine again. I think Eddie Arrieta is here somewhere. Thank you so much for the continued support from Multilingual. Again, they will be giving away a 2-page profile in Multilingual to the first prize and a 1-page white paper to our second prize. So thank you, Multilingual.
And we have a cash prize this year.
There's going to be a check, and it's a large check.
So watch this space on that. It's final time, everybody. Watch, enjoy, be ready to vote. You have a part to play. And if you haven't been here before, sit back, relax. Good luck, innovators. They're ready to go.
Let's get on with it.
Indeed. Let's go. First up is James from CaptionHub. Let's welcome him.
Can we swap over the laptops? Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Hello, Dublin. Hello, Pickers. Hello, Dragons. Thank you. I'm not sure I can compete with the Irish crack there, Dave, but thanks very much for the intro. So my name is James Jameson, and I'm from CaptionHub. CaptionHub is a category leading, we think it's category leading, and our customers do, multimedia localization platform. And I'm here today to talk to you about CaptionHub Live, a multilingual subtitling platform. CaptionHub Live has taken basically 6 years to build and really 2 years of intense development to get it to market. So to tell you today everything that we've done and the problems we've solved is actually impossible. So what I'm going to do is give you the customer ask. I'm going to tell you about the solution very, very quickly, and then I'm going to jump into some of the results. So very simply, the customer ask is, I'm running a massive event like this. I'm broadcasting it around the world to any human being with any device on any operating system, and this needs to happen in any language. Oh, and by the way, this has to happen in about 10 seconds from this event being broadcast to you watching it on your device. And also, we have to get the CEO's name right about 58 times in an hour. So not too much pressure. So this is the solution that we've built, CaptionHub Live, and we're really enormously proud of this. And I do suggest that you go and see our tech track talk tomorrow to actually understand exactly what it does. But we can transcribe from 51 different languages into 128 languages in real time around the world to any scale of audience. The really important thing here is that we're not affecting the broadcast stream, and this is what all of the incumbent technologies do in the market currently. So this is a real breakthrough and world first. I like to think of this in 3 particular layers. At an algorithmic layer, we're calculating lots of different timings to get millisecond precision captions distributed to hundreds of thousands of people around the world. Within, like I say, within a few seconds of between broadcast and viewership. At an architectural level, we are managing lots of different processes and components, machine translation, speech recognition, video streaming, and many more. And at a DevOps scale level, just to give you an example of insight into the scale here, we get around 20 million requests to our CDN in an hour-long event. And that means about 500,000 hits to our servers in that 1-hour event. And some of the events that we actually run can be hours long over a few days, and we can't forecast where the audience is going to be. So we can't actually share, we're under embargo, unfortunately, which clients we're working with. But this was launched in October.
So my guess is that the best recruits are going to be chasing the places that they can make the most money. But there's also going to be schools that...
And swing by the stand to see this, to see a full demo. But in terms of some of the results here, we launched this to a 5-day live event, which was delivered by one of the world's top 10 tech companies. Within minutes, we were subtitling in real time in multiple languages to hundreds of thousands of people around the world. We then went on to secure multiple further events with 2 of the top world's chip manufacturers. We've run a newsroom activation with Amazon Web Services and NVIDIA, which was a global broadcast from NAB a couple of months ago. And really what we're helping our customers do is help their consumers engage with content in real time, in live events, in their own language. These are people that wouldn't have previously been able to engage and consume this content. So it's something we're enormously proud of. Enormously proud to take this to market, and this is CaptionHub Live.
Well, okay, thanks, James, for a great pitch. I was wondering, I mean, 51 source languages to 128 target languages.
Yeah.
At the same time, we all know that AI is also struggling when it comes to low-resource languages. So what can actually viewers in these low-resource languages expect, and what's the proficiency of the solution for these languages?
It's a great question. Look, as we know, AI has a certain level of variability. One of the events that we recently was signed off at board level. This is by a top 3 global tech company. They had all of their country managers across 11 different languages sign off the accuracy of this. So, it's good enough for the world's largest tech companies. But something that's really important to make the point on is that CaptionHub hasn't built its own AI. The innovation here isn't the AI. We're actually using AI that's been around for a while, despite the hype of AI. The innovation is the distribution and the delivery of that AI around the world.
James, I have a question about the global events. You mentioned 25 launches or events that you've already done. Can you tell us a little bit about the most challenging, in your opinion, that you had to cover?
The first few were all challenging. We're launching a product that we've been working on for a very long time that's operating in a really complex environment, and there is no recourse. There's no, it's a one-time scenario to get right or to get wrong. And actually, the first event, and we're going to admit to some failure here, the first event we ran for a very large tech company failed. The captions weren't appearing on screen for 50% of the viewers, but we'd built up such a deep amount of trust with the vendor and the production team, and took them through a sort of very transparent investigation. They actually came back, and we recently did another event with them. So actually, it was the event after that was probably the most stressful, which was this 5-day event where we had the CEO of a tech company that I can't publicize. And the first few minutes of our product in market was the CEO interviewing the chairman of that tech company. And it was all eyes on the subtitles. So that was, our chief architect. I'm not sure he's flown in yet, but he's doing the tech talk tomorrow. He was pulling 24/7 shifts, or 24-hour shifts rather, to get it right. So yeah, that was that.
Well,
everything.
Well done, James.
Okay. Thank you.
That's how it rolls. Yeah. And we move on. So Aimee, ask you up on stage.
Okay, I've got my glasses just in case I lose my place. Hi, everybody. My name is Aimee Ansari. I'm the Chief Executive of Translators Without Borders, Clear Global. We're one of the industry's charity organizations. Our mission is to support the most marginalized to get information and be heard, whatever language they speak. And that's what this innovation is all about. Ooh, better put the slides. So just a quick recap on innovation. A lot of us in this industry and in this room think about innovation as technology or artificial intelligence. Innovation is about a creative idea that has a positive impact, even better when it helps the most marginalized. This amazing Indian tech organization, Gram Vani, was struggling to get farmers in rural Bihar in India information on how to cope with the challenges of climate change. These are mostly subsistence farmers who were seeing changing rainfall patterns and veterinary diseases they'd never heard of before. This made it difficult for them to feed their families and care for their loved ones. Low literacy, lack of internet, lack of information in Hindi, and a paucity of agricultural support staff meant that there was no easy solution. And Gram Vani is not the only organization that faces this. We hear about this all over the world. So we decided to develop Tiles. Tiles is wants to leverage voice technology to develop a process that gets farmers information easily using automated speech recognition on a device that doesn't require connection to the internet. In this age of Siri and Alexa, a voice-enabled tool that answers your question doesn't seem terribly innovative to us, but in rural India, this is magic. We used a human-centered design process to ensure that the technology was appropriate for the context, ensuring that the technology could be accessed in a place where farmers regularly visit, and that the content answered the questions they wanted answers to. We used open source data, refined it with our own speech data, tested it, adjusted it, and rolled out the first version. And then we developed the device, which is just a simple tablet with a Raspberry Pi that can be used on solar if necessary. This was revolutionary. And honestly, we were kind of surprised by the results. We weren't sure if farmers were going to want to talk to a tablet, but they did. 95% of them wanted to use it again. 61% found the information relevant, and 87% said that the tiles answered their questions correctly. So, what did we learn? Well, following human-centered design principles meant that the tech solution worked for those who needed it most. Second, investment, and it was an investment, in audio and voice technology like ASR is a priority if we want to reach those who are most at risk of the impacts of climate change. A text-only tool would not have reached those who needed it most. And lastly, as tech becomes more and more a part of the world we live in, we need to make sure that it not only speaks to, but hears from everyone. I forgot my place. Oh dear. But what's really important for us, there we go. What's really important for us is that this is a repeatable solution. Tiles can be used in any context, in any geographical location, in any language, using any content information. Tiles is a real game changer for the dissemination of critical information in contexts of low connectivity and low literacy. Thank you very much.
Great job, Aimee. Dragons, questions?
That was brilliant. Thank you, Aimee.
I lost a card.
I have a question about the wider applicability. So you mentioned there farmers in India. Sure. Could you take us through some of the sectors, areas where you think you could apply the technology?
Sure. Right now we're developing a very similar technology, but based in Telegram for people in northeast Nigeria. We're developing it in Hausa, Kanuri, and Shua Arabic. And that's to help women to get information on sexual exploitation and abuse. So voice-enabled because women have low literacy levels. Yeah, so that's one other one we're developing in a couple other places too. I talked a little bit about Rwanda this morning.
And one more question. You were fully transparent in mentioning that it's not perfect yet. And it's great that you said that, but yeah, thank you for that. And I was wondering, what could be done? What are your plans to improve the reliability of the information that's being delivered?
Right, well, it's not just the reliability of the information that's being delivered, it's also the making sure we have the right content in there. Because farmers, we tested to see what information they wanted. You know, we asked them, we did the human-centered design process, but then other questions came up as we went along, and things changed quite quickly. So that's one of the things, we're kind of expanding the question base in there. It's one of the things that we're doing to improve the device.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Aimee.
Thanks, guys.
She found it. Henrique, join us.
Hello, Dublin. Dragons, good morning. My name is Henrique Cabral. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at BureauWorks, and today I'm going to show you something that used to be only a dream. Maybe this sounds a bit familiar. The day starts, a lot of anxiety begins to build up. It should be enough. It would be bad enough if information was coming from a single source, but there are multiple sources. Multiple call to actions, multiple tasks to be addressed at the same time, and knowing exactly what to do and the order in which it should be done is one of the most lingering unsolved pains in our industry. Which brings us to the project manager's dilemma. When everything is a priority, nothing is really a priority. As an example, a friend of mine who's a project manager has to deal with this chaos every day. She's always stressed out, always needs to be the hero of everything that she does. She needs to work long hours and sometimes weekends, and on top of that, she will miss certain things. For example, one day she was placing tasks for a project due in 5 days, and she forgot about a $20,000 quote that needed her attention to be approved. That client obviously is gone. She typically realizes something's off track when it's way too late, and the keywords here would be hypervigilant, worried, and exhausted. For the business, deadlines and opportunities get missed, and service quality drops. We propose that things don't have to be this way anymore as we introduced our smart dynamic feed. It creates a summary from multiple sources, project metadata, messages, translator communications, system events, and even financials, and we organize everything in a single cohesive feed. But it's way more than just a list. It's dynamically ranked from biggest to smallest business impact. Our smart feed learns from actions and continuously becomes super personalized to each user's experience and goals. The feed is prioritized by business results, not timestamps. It's classified by leveraging sentiment analysis, and in many cases, it's already suggesting a direct action, like a reply button to a message or a delivery mechanism to send files to your client. It will perform risk analysis, and it will flag projects that have the potential to be late, not only the late projects, the ones that are in risk of being late, before the person even realizes it. And through this sentiment analysis, it feels and ranks these problems for the project manager, bringing those critical messages to their attention at the right time. And we've all been seeing what LLMs can do. This is about leveraging these capabilities to cross-reference asymmetrical data in ways that were previously unimaginable. And the best part, if it's good to be true, it's already in BureauWorks. So what we have seen so far, we have seen 70% less deliveries, late deliveries, sorry, and people being more productive and being more creative, more revenue, better focus on quality, better customer satisfaction, about 20%, and a reduction in stress as reported by project managers, about 50%, because they're confident that these messages, they will come up at the right time, the right place. And just a final word, our tech is not meant to replace people. We really focus on making the work a little bit better so you can be more productive and focus on the things that we want to happen rather than avoiding the things that we don't want to happen. So this is BureauWorks, this is our smart dynamic feed, and let's make work less stressful and more productive together. Thank you.
Have you got some fans in the audience, maybe?
Javi.
There he is there. Dragons.
Thank you, Henrique. Can I ask, can you tell us a little bit more about the role of sentiment analysis in the ranking? And is it the case that the negative messages tend to come up towards the top, or do you have to ensure that some positive messages also find their way up there?
Yeah, that's one of the things that we look at, the content of the messages, the volume, the frequency, so we can use all this information to say, okay, this is relatively more important than this. So we rank those messages based on many aspects of the projects and tasks and the communications between stakeholders, so meaning translators, project managers, everybody that is involved in a project is entitled to receive those messages, and they will be prioritized according to their roles in those projects.
I think that your focus on mental well-being is great, and that leads to staff retention and so on. I'm just curious of how you measure this stress reduction or improvement of the mental health of your PMs.
The main mechanism that we use is user survey. Every 3 or 4 months, we reach out and we get those informations. And what we have seen is that there is that perception where they're not busy all the time anymore. So busy, 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 busy. I have to send out 50 quotes. Maybe now you have a quote in 15 seconds, so you can just focus on more strategic thinking throughout your day. So what we see from their responses is that they're basically more creative and they're more capable of solving those problems.
Thank you.
We have time for one more. Yeah, okay.
Go on.
So how is it different than a dashboard?
I think we're declaring a little bit of a war on dashboards, but not really. I mean, we understand that dashboards and analytical capabilities are very important, so we provide a full solution, very sophisticated, very customizable solution for analytical purposes. But inside BureauWorks, inside that user interface that you see, we're focusing on productivity. So dashboards have a very strong opinion. Today you have a project manager, a stakeholder that has an opinion. Oh, I want to see a pie chart of projects, of the status of projects. And another one, no, I want to see a bell curve of the distribution of tasks, however it works. And we're saying, no, let's focus on what you have to do. You have to deliver projects, you have to do this and that, and the analytical part will be there available for whoever wants to create the dashboards and the reports.
Thank you.
Thank
Brilliant.
you.
Well done. Halfway through. Oscar.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Dragons. My name is Oscar. I'm the CEO of a DTP company named Loc Capture. And in our work, we often find ourselves having to face projects that involve hundreds of localized videos. One of the most challenging campaigns we had was FIFA 22. We had to deliver the global campaign videos, all featuring Zidane. We had 4 aspect ratio times 3 duration across 25 languages. So that's 300 of identical videos that need to be carefully reviewed one by one. The current method of quality revision in video production, it's inefficient, it's time-consuming, and also, if you have to see it by yourself, you will need to see the same video and listen to the same audio for hours, days, or sometimes even weeks. Imagine to keep quality and focus doing that for such a long time. It's just a recipe for burnout. I was myself in charge of this revision, and after some time, like Zidane in this moment, I was ready to crash my head into the monitor. I noticed during this campaign that if I drop some videos into QuickTime and try to sync them by pausing and playing, I could save so much time, like simultaneously review them. I thought there should be an app in the market that allows for this, but surprisingly, just there wasn't. So we needed to create one. And this is how fly.qc was born. Fly.qc is a tool that is designed to streamline the video localization process. It allows you to simultaneously review any amount of videos and create on the fly quality control reports, all in one leak-proof platform. Let me show you how it works. You just drop some videos into the platform, and then you are already watching them playing simultaneously. You can go and rearrange some videos, set your columns, or go full screen if you need it. You can then navigate frame by frame, or go anywhere in the timeline. Activate some grids, as useful as the title save. Much time saver, it's amazing. Also, you can just mark anything you see in the video and drop some comments over there, and then you are creating a quality control report on the fly. Just a few clicks, and you're ready to send it to anyone interested. Also, for the ones concerned in audio, you can check and swap into tracks, so you can check if the audio has been well applied and everything is correct.
Pouvez rejoindre la file. Antreten. Ist euch mir was neuer Müll? Completo de 16. Ah, c'est parfait.
There are so many of other cool features, like, for example, one-by-one comparison, collaborative session, and also any speed reproduction, you name it, because we have taken care of every aspect of the video. We now have, instead of a feeling of despair, a sense of relief and accomplishment. We have a much healthier team and much more effective. One person can take control of everything. Like, they can run a quick sanity check or a super complex technical quality control in a fraction of the time. We are no longer bogged down by this monotony of this daunting task. And also, we removed that bottleneck we had in production. Since we have fly.qc, we now review video as flawlessly as Zidane controls the ball. Thank you.
Brilliant. So clearly Zuzu approves. We have some French dragons. Let's see if they do as well. Any questions?
Thank you, Oscar. So, I mean, clearly a huge time saving involved. You've quoted 80% time savings. What does that look like in actual time? Because you talked about 300 videos in one case, and I think you mentioned weeks. What sort of times have you saved?
In that one, I actually spent maybe 1 week and a half watching the same video. It was different cut down, so I had 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 1 minute, but they were all mostly the same. So I kept dreaming on the Zidane's face all over that time. So I thought there should be something that makes me go faster. And now we can take care of that work in maybe 1 day. So it's incredible.
And I'm also interested in the collaborative sessions that you mentioned. I mean, how does it work that people can simultaneously work in fly.qc?
That's an amazing question. It's actually an offline platform, so it runs without internet, and that's amazing because it's leak-proof. But the thing is that as you generate quality control reports, that quality control reports have all the info you need. So you can download your quality report and send it to your colleague, and he can start over from your point that you have left the quality control session. So we found out that using that, it's completely collaborative. So you can keep going, or even for yourself, you can start one day and end the next day, the session of quality revision, or even you can mark some points in the timeline. So, for example, the key points. So you can start again and go only to the key points of the video. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Oscar. And we keep going on. Bruno, join us.
Hello, LocWorld. Hello, Dublin. Hello, fellow PIC sisters and brothers. Hello, dragons. My name is Bruno Bitter, co-founder and CEO of Blackbird.io. Our innovation this year, Blackbird can now decouple, harvest glossaries and term bases from translation management systems and spreadsheet apps so that you can repurpose these terminology sources of truth anywhere. This level of interoperability has not been the norm until now. You see, for many decades, glossaries or term bases have been tethered to translation management systems, much like moons are to planets. This gravitational pull of TMSs meant that the impact of these terminology resources was limited to the TMS that hosted them, creating somewhat of a silo problem. Instead of being moons tethered to their TMS planets, we need terminology to be our source of truth. Terminology must become our sun in a new localization solar system. In this new system, we have not one, but multiple TMSs, large language models, vector databases, data lakes and data lakehouses, machine translation services, and various productivity apps orbiting the central terminology resource. Let's look at a practical example. Let's say we are orchestrating a workflow in Blackbird with content coming from Zendesk, machine translation using DeepL, post-editing with OpenAI's GPT-4o model, and then pushing the localized content back into Zendesk. With our innovation of unchained glossaries, you can now export glossaries from any TMS as a simple action in our workflow. In my example here, we are connecting to BureauWorks, our latest integration partner, and export a glossary from there. You can now repurpose this asset in another application. The BureauWorks glossary exported in step 3 is injected into the OpenAI post-editing action in step 5, leading to immediate improved results. In the background, Blackbird automatically converts and normalizes any terminology asset into the TBX standard during the export. Our innovation also enables our industry to start breaking down silos between language and marketing departments. We can now accelerate the important convergence between LangOps and content ops. As an example, SEO keywords and glossaries can now be considered and reconciled within the same workflow. In my example here, I am exporting an SEO glossary from Microsoft Excel, and within the same process, also check for the presence of keywords in the translation that has just been post-edited. If any keyword is missing, Blackbird will enrich the content. Terminology management is crucial for interoperability, especially when working with Gen AI. Our ability to anchor terminology to prompts reduces hallucination and leads to better, more consistent and reliable outcomes. Glossaries and term bases can be transferred from any TMS or spreadsheet tool for use with generative AI or MT applications, providing much-needed guardrails. Just as the sun is the center of our solar system with planets and moons orbiting around it, terminology resources can now be the central force that drives and guides the localization universe. All we need to do is unchain our glossaries. This innovation has been ready and used in production for just over 6 months now. Scanning the QR code in this slide will deliver a video showing unchained glossaries in action. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruno. Just looking at your impact slide, you're talking about interoperability and breaking down silos. And you've talked about glossaries, but do you see this innovation extending beyond glossaries to other kinds of assets for interoperability?
Great question. If I had to distill what we are trying to achieve into one single word, I would say that's interoperability. So 2 years ago, we started with workflow orchestration in Blackbird. That means the ability to take content and data from any system and route it to any other systems. We like to say, integrate anything, automate everything. So we started with that workflow orchestration. And then we went beyond. We integrated with a framework called a copy, which bridges the gap between the string world and the file world, and also making different files interoperable, adding XLIF on top of everything that happens in Blackbird. We continued with glossaries and didn't stop there. We continued with style guides. And the next frontier is translation memories, which will involve data lakes and data lake houses, but that's perhaps for another pick.
And Bruno, will you tell us a little bit about monolingual content and how you use that for for content creation optimization?
We like to talk about content industries in the plural, and we see localization industry as one of the most important of the content industries. But there are other adjacent industries, and in one of my examples, I showed that the same content can be in the middle of the interest of another department, right? For example, marketing, who will be interested in the SEO keywords. With Gen AI, it's already probably a multi-billion-dollar industry generating content in one language, and our industry can have a key influence in that only if we can take the resources we have, which are our vector databases, the TMSs, and other resources we have. So that's a huge potential for the entire industry.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Done. Nice job, Bruno. Dylan, I'm going to wrap us up here.
Wow, there's a lot of you. Before I got on the plane coming to Australia today, I started talking to my little daughter, and I was telling her how I was feeling really nervous about getting on stage and talking to so many people. And she said to me, "Daddy, when you get up on stage, just look out to the crowd and imagine that everyone are cupcakes." So if I could ask for your help today, what I'd like to do is take a photo while I have this opportunity. And on the count of 3, can you all please say cupcakes? 1, 2, 3. Cupcakes! See, girls? I told you. I was talking to cupcakes. Hi. My name is Dylan Hartmann. I am a certified Thai to English translator and the co-founder of AccuDocs. Certified translations are a pain. They are slow, expensive, and often unprofitable. LSPs and translators face this issue daily. Well, today I'm excited to share how our process of innovation tackles the entire workflow and how AccuDocs offers a new, complete end-to-end platform as a service for certified translations. Meet Sophia, a digital nomad on a student visa in Melbourne who needs her birth certificate translated. Carl, a certified translator like myself, finds small jobs a waste of his time. Emma, a LSP project manager, spends the same amount of time on a $50 single-time customer that she would on a $5,000 repeat corporate client. Has anyone in this room ever needed a certified translation before? It is a complete hassle, right? Well, LSPs using manual email or regular TMS platforms complicate the process even further with up to 13 steps required. Sending personal documents to multiple translators is also risky due to data privacy, data sovereignty, and data security concerns. Meet AccuDocs. We simplify these 13 steps into 4, slashing delivery times and overheads by up to 95%. We've turned those traditional pain points into opportunities, automating everything from document submission to payment. Moreover, there is 0 cost to entry for translators and LSPs, as the solution is funded entirely by a customer service fee. Our plugin SaaS creates a white-labeled landing page for your company. Customers upload their documents, enter their information, pay, and the jobs are claimed by the first available translator. Our fastest delivery on record with this process, 54 seconds from point of submission for a French to English driver's license in Australia. So our innovation has evolved from a tool for freelance translators into an end-to-end solution for LSPs and enterprises. AccuDocs offers customer self-service to boost translator efficiency, not to replace certified experts. We've also incorporated AI to save the end user's time. AccuDocs is ready. It's already proven in the Australian market and is directly benefiting everyone it touches. We're now entering the world's largest market for certified translations, and there is a growing demand. With your support, we can get the recognition needed to expand globally, benefiting LSPs, translators, and users like Carl, Sophia, and Emma said it earlier. But not without stating that privacy and security are our priority. Our system currently meets the APP and HIPAA standards, progressing quickly towards ISO, GDPR, and SOC 2 compliance. AccuDocs provides instant, user-friendly access to certified translators, facilitating fast, secure, and reliable translations. AccuDocs is the next-generation solution. To sum up, AccuDocs is not just a tool. We are the Uber for certified translations that will make a real positive impact on people's lives, transforming a community service into a scalable, streamlined, profitable venture for translators and LSPs. Let me finish by saying that as a bootstrapped Aussie tech startup, we're now ready to raise our first seed round. If you believe AccuDocs can transform a cost center into a profit center at scale, then let's talk today. Thank you.
Well, your enthusiasm clearly shows. And now you make me have 2 questions. That is, why AccuDocs and not Cupcake Translation Service? But I would say more, the real question is that the common issue for platforms, since you mentioned Uber, is to get a critical mass of linguists for you in this case. So what is your plan to get these people on board?
Our strategy has been, from the onset, a B2B company. So we could have gone direct B2C, but we would be, let's say, competing against other LSPs in the market. What we've done is create something so valuable for each of the users that we don't even have to charge an onboarding fee. It just makes sense to onboard to AccuDocs because it is taking care of a process that is currently costing time and money for LSPs and project managers in particular.
Thank you.
I actually also have two questions now. My first question is, how much coffee did you drink at the break? I know we love your energy.
I had a long flight, I could say.
You mentioned that you're now launching into the US market. Do you think you might need a different go-to-market strategy in the US compared to in Australia, or what do you think might be different in the US market compared to Australia?
The US market is particular in that anyone can certify a translation. We've got a point of difference in that AccuDocs only onboards translators who are certified. So in Australia, you have the NAATI, N-A-A-T-I certification, and our plan is to assist, let's say, ATA certified translators in America with a more, a faster turnaround and improved revenue stream from these kind of basic personal document translations. What I've found as a certified translator myself is that there is no incentive for a translator to go and become certified, because who wants to deal with direct clients all day? And there is a limit to how many birth certificates you can translate, honestly. So by streamlining this service, it makes the translator's job more valuable. And the one commodity for translators at the moment is time. And so if they can finish 100 times more work in one day, then good to them.
You said it right. Commodity is time. Well done, Dylan. Well done. What did he call you? Cupcakes? Well, for some people, this is the part that they're sitting down waiting for. All right? You know what's coming next? You can vote. Yeah. You can get device out. Any voting issues, just find Alex and me later, and we will get your vote counted. By the way, we have preliminary rounds. That's a different code. And the idea, is that we have to get down to 6, unfortunately, but that's just the name of the game. And look, we've had 3 preliminary rounds, which are amazing. Lots of experienced innovators, new people. In the first round, Olga, people will know, did a great job. Rosa Maria, Eleanor, who's here as well. Philippe is also here. Anyone else here from the preliminaries?
Pick prelims?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a few hands raised. Yeah. You can scan that code to go directly into the YouTube channel for LocWorld. And here's some more people here. Let me see who's here. Oh, yeah, Dominic was here. Ayushman, very interesting stuff. Matt was there on the Evolve piece. And then the final round, we had a couple of other names. Jing, Sagi, I think is here as well. Constantine, one of the big supporters of the pick. How many times have you entered, Constantine? And a great voice on LinkedIn. And Istvan, of course, many will know about connecting things. And that's where you will end up with that one. Okay. There, see, I told you. That's the voting one again. All right. We're going to invite a few people up on stage.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep. So just ask them to join us. So we'll have Aline, Brian, Steve, Ivana. Just join us here, stage left, if that's right.
Yep.
And we're just going to do a section we call Innovative Voices. So lunch is going to be ready, don't worry, but we've about 8 minutes to go. So if you can bear with us. And let's start over here. And Elaine, what did you think of... I need to give you a mic.
Yes, please.
What do you think? Innovation.
Well, I mean, there are always problems to solve, right? And we call it innovation, but it's really about moving ahead with the things, the frictions, the unsolved problems, the needs. And that is a part of the business we're running, right? We need to do that. So, great work, everyone.
Yeah, great. And if we, the state of that kind of mindset for being innovative, do you feel that that's something that, we just all have to grow into a bit more, or are we doing okay?
Status quo always has friction, right? And we need to solve friction and come up with new things. And imagine, if we think 10 years back, the world was different, wasn't it? Compared to today. But, so one of the things we have discussed around innovation is all innovation good? And I come from the consulting landscape, and in the consulting world, if you say, I'm not sure that part of the innovation is a good thing, you're being frowned upon, right? Because it's not really accepted to say that some innovation isn't necessarily good. I think we need to do that. We need to start asking questions. Is this good innovation? Does this actually make sense for the planet, for ourselves, for our businesses? And to turn that around, and I think that's what you have all the 6 companies have been doing now, today, is to talk about how to solve problems. I often get this question in the AI landscape. How can we use AI in innovation? And I keep repeating, it's not about the toolbox. It's about the problem to be solved. So keep your eyes on what to achieve, which problems you want to solve. And then you can dig into the toolbox and see whatever can you find in the toolbox. And you might find some AI tools, right? Don't go the other way around.
Right.
If you start looking into the toolbox, there's a shiny new hammer, where are my nails? Right?
So look for the problems to solve.
Keep your eyes on the problem, yeah.
That's a great segue. You don't know it. If you want to pass the mic to Ivana, thank you very much, Ellen. Yeah, thanks. So Ivana, you and your team have found a problem to solve. Tell us about the problem.
Speaking of the problem, we have a quite desperate-looking guy over there. As a result of late last night's pub crawl, he realized in the morning that he does not have his passport on him and he's supposed to travel. What he doesn't yet realize is that looking at the map is probably not going to help him figure out why he lost it. Still, he'd have to deal with some authorities, and God forbid it's authorities from my home country, from Serbia. So think, ex-communist republic, long corridors, long dark faces of authorities you have to deal with. It's a struggle even for us natives. So what he would really like is the help of a friend. So that's where it got us thinking, like, how good it would be that you could just phone someone local to help you deal with a language barrier situation. It's basically like having an interpreter right by your side. It's just a phone call away, he or she.
And you're in conceptual mode right now. In fact, your CEO is in Japan speaking to tourists last week when I was speaking to him. And he's trying to figure out, does this make sense, right?
Yes, absolutely. He was speaking to tourists, and he found out that there are a lot of people who would also, be happy to volunteer and help tourists who do not speak the language. And he's also doing some robot pitching, disinfection robot in hospitals, where he tested Understandify with a pool of available Japanese interpreters, which turned out great. I mean, it's cost effective. You have someone on the call right away whenever you need them.
Great. Thanks a million, Ivana. That's a conceptual idea. We'd like to bring those in. Hopefully we'll see you at a future pick. Steve, we'll bring you in. Hi. So, Steve, you've been around the industry quite a while, in one form or another. But we were talking earlier about, what should we be doing? What toys should we be really playing with to understand what's coming downstream with generative AI, adaptive AI, and what's next?
Yeah, I think the thing that struck me was Aimee's presentation using open source, understanding that it's not perfect, but you've got to start. I would be encouraging anybody working with Gen AI to allocate some budget and experiment. James's comments also stood out that wrestling AI into a mode where it behaves for you is a lot of late nights and a lot of stress and a lot of frustration wishing it would work better. But you've got to start, and you've got to allocate people, time, and money to make it happen.
Yeah, and in your spare time, do you play a lot with Gen AI tools? Tell us a bit about the ones you're enjoying.
I'd probably be an AI skeptic, or maybe pragmatist is a better word. I can see the absolute value in it. It has absolutely clear applications in certain spaces. For translation and translation at scale, it's still somewhat limited. I think we're still in that peak of inflated expectation on the Gartner curve.
We all be experimenting with them?
Oh, everybody should be experimenting with it. And I mean everybody, from your children all the way through your working life. Everybody should be using it every day. You have to use it. It won't get better until everybody is using it and find the flaws and get that feedback back to the creators to make sure that it is continually improving in the interests of correct, predictable, reliable, and trustworthy output.
Thanks, Steve. Great. And Brian, we'll bring you in here. Thanks. So, many of you will know Brian Murphy, good Irish name, by the way. Yeah. CEO of Smartling, 20 years SaaS and e-commerce. So, venture capital, private equity, same thing, right?
Yeah, no, quite different. Thanks. So venture, as I was listening to these presentations, which were fantastic, I was thinking about this through the lens of venture capital or private equity, and they're two very different things, and all entrepreneurs and companies need sources of capital. So venture capitalists think about team, TAM, and transformation. PE, private equity, thinks about ARR, or recurring financial revenue, and they think about the opportunity for economic or financial growth through acquisition or through cost savings, et cetera, and then a clear exit path, usually 5 years. So that's a big difference. And I thought, when I'm thinking about these pitches that I saw, as I listened to them, some of them were clearly, as an entrepreneur, it's really essential that you have the right team that has expertise in whatever you're trying to solve and experience and has a successful track record. And that from a TAM perspective, that TAM is defined as total addressable market, so it's how much you charge for your product multiplied by the number of potential users, right? So is it big enough, right? And then finally, is it transformative? Is it a product or is it a feature? And so sometimes I hear these pitches and I'm like, that sounds like a feature to me and not a product. And so those are the things that we always watch out for.
And what are PEs looking for right now, right this moment, and how fast is that changing?
So private equity firms are looking for stable and growing revenue, right? So recurring revenue. And they're looking for the opportunity to use companies as platforms, right? So I can either go out and buy other companies and create value by doing that, either by improving their gross margin or reducing operating expense to scale up the size of the company. And finally, they're looking for a cohesive exit strategy. So in other words, in 5 years, once I built this company, does it make sense? Is it a company that's great that I can sell to another company or to another private equity firm?
Great. And any comments on the innovations?
No, I'm going to keep those to myself.
You heard it. Thanks, Brian, Ellen, Ivana, Steve. Great. Thank you very much. Have you been able to vote? Yeah. Any problems? Come see us afterwards. Hey, final words, Alex?
Yeah, so you're probably going to want to know who won. So you're going to have to wait till tomorrow afternoon. Our closing session at LocWorld is in here in this room at 4:45 tomorrow. We'll not only be announcing our winner, we'll be handing away our first large-size check.
Will it bounce, though? Have you checked that?
Well,
we'll get back to you.
We'll have to make sure.
We really want to thank our dragons for the amazing effort.
Thanks, Gaetan. Thanks, Veronique. Thank you, Porrick. I want to also just mention really quick that each of the dragons also helped coach our innovators, and the whole process is continuing to evolve as we do more and more. So thanks for that.
Yeah, and Marina Pancheva, where is she?
Marina's over here. We need to thank Marina for coaching
Another coach.
Oscar as well.
Thanks, Marina.
Yeah.
We're nearly there. Thank you to the innovators. And hey, what? We didn't do any puns. Phew. I think I'm cured from that, and I feel good about it. You know what? It reminds me of a pirate friend of mine. His overweight parrot died, unfortunately, last week. Yeah. Mind you, it was a huge weight off his shoulders.
We got a groan. You've been searching for it all day.
Yeah, we got to get one in. Okay. Well, as we say in Ireland, Ganari and Boher laugh. I'm missing a fada on the O. Someone did a linguistic check on me. Thanks, Dave. Just saying. So be careful what you get off the internet, folks. it really means may the road rise up to meet you, which is best of luck on your way. So we say that to the innovators. And yeah, we say it to you as well. Slán agus go raibh míle maith agat. You're done. Lunch is beckoning. And we can listen to some Irish music. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.